Let's cut the fluff. A lot of men are walking straight into emotional minefields with their eyes wide shut, all in the name of love. The modern dating game has flipped. Somehow, holding a woman accountable is now misogynistic, and walking away from disrespect makes you insecure. Nonsense. Too many men are being taught to stick it out no matter how toxic a woman is, like leaving is some kind of weakness. But let me ask you this. If you saw a house on fire, would you go inside because it looked pretty from the outside? Here's the hard truth. Some women are not looking for love. They're looking for control, validation, or entertainment. And if you ignore the red flags, you will pay for it, emotionally, financially, and mentally. We're in an age where emotional manipulation has become subtle, even celebrated. She insults you as a joke. She talks about her ex just as a friend. She pulls away affection to punish you, and you're told to just communicate better. No, wake up. These aren't quirks, they're warnings. Men are being softened by bad advice. Be more understanding. Give her space. It's just how women are. And before you know it, you're justifying disrespect. Let me make it clear. Love without respect is slavery. This isn't about hating women. This is about protecting men. You are not a rehab center. You are not a punching bag. And you are not disposable. You are allowed to have standards. You are allowed to walk away. In this video, we're breaking down 10 red flags every man needs to recognize and act on immediately. If you see these signs, don't negotiate. Don't explain. Walk away. Because if you don't respect yourself enough to leave, she'll never respect you either. Let's get into it. 1, she disrespects you in public. There's no faster way to spot hidden contempt than how she treats you when people are watching. You're out with friends, maybe at dinner, and she throws a slick comment. Ugh, you always forget things like this. Typical. People laugh. You laugh too, nervously. But inside, you feel that sting. Don't ignore it. A woman who truly respects you will protect your image in public, not tear it down. Public disrespect is not an accident, and it's a test. She wants to see how far she can go. If you tolerate it once, she now knows you're more afraid of conflict than dishonor. It starts with light sarcasm. Then she starts correcting you in front of others. Then she openly mocks you, questions your intelligence, interrupts you when you speak. This is dominance disguised as jokes. And here's the trap. She'll say you're too sensitive or can't take a joke. That's not humor. That's manipulation. It's her way of flipping the blame back onto you while keeping her control intact. Now listen, a healthy relationship isn't about silence and submission. You can disagree, you can challenge each other, but when a woman feels free to belittle you publicly, it means she's already lost respect for you privately. Why does this matter so much? Because if she'll disrespect you in public, she'll disrespect you everywhere, in your home, in your finances, in your emotional space. And here's the harsh part. Most men stay hoping it'll change. It won't. If she thinks embarrassing you in front of others is acceptable, she doesn't see you as a man to be led by. She sees you as a man to be controlled. When respect dies, love gets replaced with power games. If she doesn't respect your presence, your voice, or your boundaries when others are watching, that's not your girl, that's your enemy with a smile. Walk away. 2, she constantly talks about her ex. Here's something a lot of men overlook. When she keeps bringing up her ex, she's not over him. Period. You're sitting across from her on a date trying to build something real, and somehow, her ex comes up again. And again. And again. He never appreciated me. He used to do this and that. We were together for years, so it's normal I talk about him. No, it's not normal. If her past still lives rent-free in her conversations, then you're not dealing with a clean slate. You're a rebound. You're a distraction. You're a soft place to land, but she's still emotionally tied to someone else. And it's not always about bad memories either. Sometimes it sounds like admiration. My ex used to cook for me. My ex had a 6-figure job. My ex knew how to treat a woman. What she's really saying is, you're not him, but I'm still comparing you to him. And no man can compete with a ghost, especially not one she hasn't buried. Let's get brutally honest here. When a woman constantly talks about her ex, she's either still emotionally attached, unhealed, and using you to process pain, subtly trying to control your behavior by making you fear becoming just like him. Either way, you lose. You'll spend your time trying to prove you're better. You'll walk on eggshells, overextend, tolerate disrespect, all in the name of not messing up like the last guy. But here's the truth. If you have to compete with her past, you're already in second place. And don't be fooled if she says she hates him. Hate is not the opposite of love. Indifference is. Strong emotions, even negative ones, are still signs of attachment. A healed woman focuses on building forward, not comparing backwards. She talks about vision, not vengeance. She sees you as a new beginning, not a bandage. If her ex is still in her mouth, he's still in her mind. And if he's still in her mind, you don't belong in her life. Walk away. 3, she hates being held accountable. This one, you'll feel it fast. The moment you try to check her, she flips the script. You bring up something that bothered you. Maybe she said something out of line. Maybe she crossed a boundary. You're calm. You're clear. You just want to talk like adults. And what happens? She gets defensive. She gaslights. She cries. She turns it all back on you. Suddenly, you're the bad guy for bringing it up. You're controlling. You're too emotional. You're starting drama. Sound familiar? This is not normal. This is deflection. She refuses to look at herself in the mirror unless it's flattering. Any form of correction, that's an attack in her eyes. And that's a dangerous place for any man to be. See, accountability is the foundation of trust. If she can't own her actions, how can you ever trust her words? Or her loyalty? Or her promises? What's wild is, she'll expect you to be accountable, be consistent, be respectful, be a man. But when it's her turn, excuses, silence, or full-blown breakdowns. And the worst part is, many men fall for it. You start second-guessing yourself. You hold back. You stop speaking up just to keep the peace. But bro, peace without truth is just quiet slavery. A woman who can't be corrected is a woman who will never grow. She doesn't want partnership. She wants power without responsibility. She wants the benefits of a relationship without the self-awareness it takes to maintain one. And if you stay, she learns something dangerous, that her beauty, her emotions, or her manipulations are stronger than your standards. That's not love. That's submission, and not the healthy kind. So let's be real. If she explodes every time you set a boundary, if she rewrites reality to dodge blame, if she makes you feel guilty for asking for respect, you're not in a relationship. You're in a hostage situation. And the only way to win is to walk. 4, she uses independence to avoid partnership. Now hear this. There's nothing wrong with a woman being independent. The problem starts when she uses it as a weapon, not a value. Some women will scream, "I don't need a man," while benefiting from a man every day. She'll want you to lead, but only when it's convenient. She'll want help, but if you give input, you're controlling. She'll say she wants a partner, but the moment responsibility shows up, she disappears behind the word independent. Let's be honest, independence should never mean resistance to teamwork. If every time you try to build something together, a plan, a future, a goal, she pulls away and says, "I'll do it myself," that's not strength, that's ego. And too many men ignore this red flag because they think it's modern or empowering. Yeah. But ask yourself this. Why is she in a relationship if she's allergic to partnership? You're not here to be an accessory to her solo life. You're not a trophy. You're not a background character in her boss babe narrative. You're a man. And that role comes with weight, vision, and direction. And here's the criticism part. Some men have lowered the bar so much they're okay being half needed, half respected. She says she doesn't want your help, and you accept it. She shuts you out emotionally, and you let it slide. She insists on doing everything alone, and you start tiptoeing like a guest in her life. Wake up. This is not a relationship. It's a solo mission with occasional male benefits. A real woman? She can be strong and still see value in building with a man. She knows independence doesn't mean isolation. She doesn't compete with her partner. She aligns with him. But if she constantly uses "I'm independent" to dodge compromise, dismiss your role, or avoid shared accountability, she's not looking for a teammate. She's looking for an audience. Walk away. 5, she tests you with toxic behavior. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Some women don't test your strength by watching how you lead. They test it by seeing how much disrespect you'll tolerate. It starts small. She shows up late on purpose. She ignores your texts just to see how you react. She flirts in front of you and calls it harmless. And when you bring it up, she says, "Relax. I just wanted to see if you're jealous." I like a man who can handle a little attitude. If you were really confident, it wouldn't bother you. Bro, that's not a test. That's a trap. She's not looking to build with you. She's checking how far she can push before you break. And if you let it slide once, she knows you'll let it slide again. That's when the games get worse. Now she ghosts you for a day just to make you miss her. Now she starts fights for no reason just to spice things up. Now she crosses emotional boundaries and watches you fold every single time. This isn't feminine energy. This isn't just her personality. This is control. And what's wild is, a lot of men confuse it for passion. They think her drama means she cares. They think her jealousy is flattering. They think surviving her mood swings proves they're strong. No. Real strength is knowing when to walk away. Here's the part most men don't like to admit. You're not staying because she's special. You're staying because your self-worth is tied to being good enough to fix her. But you're not here to prove anything. You're here to build. And if she's constantly throwing chaos at you just to test your masculinity, you're not a partner to her. You're a project. Men, if she's playing games to see how far you'll bend, it's only a matter of time before she breaks you. Don't play her game. Don't teach her that pain equals power. Walk away. 6. She always plays the victim. Nothing is ever her fault. No matter what happens, she finds a way to flip the story so she's the one who was wronged. She disrespects you, but you're too sensitive. She lies, but it's because you made her feel unsafe. She cheats, and somehow it's your emotional neglect that pushed her to do it. Sound familiar? This is the professional victim. She cries on cue. She blames her ex for everything. She says all men are trash, but somehow never reflects on her own choices. Her entire identity is built on being hurt, even when she's the one doing the damage. Now, here's where it gets dangerous. At first, you'll feel sorry for her. You'll want to be the man who finally treats her right. You'll want to heal what others broke, but that's the trap. Because the moment you hold her accountable, the moment you express a boundary, the moment you say, that wasn't okay, she flips into victim mode. Now you're the abuser. Now you're just like the rest. Now she's telling friends, crying, spinning the story so that you're the bad guy for doing nothing but standing your ground. This red flag is subtle at first, but over time, it becomes exhausting. You'll feel like you're always apologizing, always fixing, always trying to make things right when you're not the one breaking them. And the worst part? You'll start doubting yourself. You'll think, maybe I am too harsh. You'll question your sanity, your logic, your emotions, all because you're in a relationship where truth gets twisted and accountability gets weaponized. Bro, listen. A woman who always plays the victim is not looking for partnership. She's looking for a shield, someone to absorb blame, carry guilt, and take hits that were never theirs. That's not love. That's emotional manipulation dressed up as trauma. You are not her therapist. You are not her savior. And if she refuses to own her part in conflict, if she rewrites every story to make herself the innocent one, she's not broken. She's strategic. Walk away. 7. She weaponizes sex. Let's talk facts. Sex is supposed to be connection, not currency. But with the wrong woman, it becomes a reward, a punishment, a negotiation tool. And before you know it, intimacy turns into a power play. At first, she's all in, touching, flirting, wanting you. But the moment you say something she doesn't like, it's gone. She withdraws. She goes cold. She doesn't feel like it. Not once, not twice. Consistently, strategically. And here's how she spins it. I'm just not in the mood. You were mean earlier. I need to feel emotionally safe first. Now don't get it twisted. Of course, emotions matter. But when emotional safety becomes a code word for control, something's off. You had a disagreement. Suddenly she's not feeling close. You said no to her request. Now she's not in the mood. You assert a boundary. Now you're being emotionally distant. It's not about connection anymore, it's about compliance. She uses sex as a scoreboard. Do what she wants, and you get affection. Stand your ground, you get silence. This isn't intimacy, it's manipulation. And too many men fall for it, thinking, maybe I just need to do better. Maybe she just needs more time. But here's the hard truth: you should never have to perform for love. Affection should flow from mutual respect, not emotional blackmail. And let's be real, this behavior doesn't stop in the bedroom. If she uses intimacy to control, she'll use everything else too: your time, your money, your attention. It's all part of a system where she holds the power, and you keep chasing approval. You're not a child, you're not a servant, you're not a puppet with strings attached to her mood. A real woman doesn't weaponize connection, she protects it. But if she uses intimacy as leverage, if your needs only matter when you're perfectly pleasing her, if you constantly feel punished with coldness, distance, or rejection, she's not nurturing the relationship. She's running it like a game. Walk away. 8, she's only sweet. When she wants something, you ever notice how her energy changes? One moment she's cold, distant, even rude. Then suddenly she's all smiles, laughing at your jokes, extra affectionate, sweet voice. And just like that, she's asking for a favor. That's not love. That's manipulation wrapped in fake sweetness. It's a pattern. She gives just enough affection to keep you engaged, but only when she's getting something out of it. She's silent all week, then suddenly texting, "Hey babe, miss you." And by the end of that message, she's asking for a favor: money, help, attention, something. It's not love, it's strategy. This woman knows exactly what she's doing. She knows how to act soft and feminine when she wants something from you. But when you need her, she's busy, she's tired, she's in a mood. No affection, no warmth, no effort. That's the game. You're not a partner, you're a vending machine. She presses the right emotional buttons, gets what she wants, and disappears. And you're left thinking, maybe she's just stressed. Maybe next time will be different. But next time, it's the same script. And here's the hard part: some men prefer this because they confuse crumbs for care. They think any attention is better than none. They take those fake sweet moments and hold on to them like proof she still cares. But deep down, you feel it. It's not consistent. It's not real. It's transactional. Real affection doesn't come with a price tag. A woman who truly values you will be consistent, not selective. She'll show love when she's happy and when she's not getting her way. But when she only turns on the charm when she wants something, you're not being loved. You're being used. And the longer you stay, the more you teach her. This works. He'll respond if I pretend to care long enough. That's not a relationship. That's emotional manipulation in lipstick. Walk away. 9, she compares you to other men. It starts off subtle. He always brings his girl flowers. My ex never got this upset. Jason just bought his wife a new car. Goals. At first, you might shrug it off. You think she's just talking. But what she's really doing, planting seeds of inadequacy, she's not trying to inspire you, and she's trying to pressure you by using other men as weapons. And the moment you buy into it, you start performing instead of leading. You start dressing a certain way just to measure up. You say yes to things you wouldn't normally tolerate just to avoid being called less than. You push yourself to be more romantic, more generous, more patient. Not because it's genuine, but because you feel like you're being graded. Let me tell you something. A woman who truly respects you doesn't measure you against other men. She builds with the man in front of her. But when she constantly brings up other men, it's never innocent. It's pressure disguised as standards. It's shaming dressed up as motivation. And it chips away at your self-worth, little by little. Worse, she doesn't just compare you to men she knows. She compares you to celebrities, influencers, fictional characters on TV. My favorite TikTok couple never fights. I saw a guy on Instagram who took his girl to Dubai just because. And now you're sitting there feeling like you're failing even when you're doing your best. Here's the thing. Men grow when they're encouraged, not when they're measured. If she can't appreciate what you bring to the table without mentioning what another man did, you're not her man. You're her project. And if she keeps comparing you now, imagine what she'll do when you're married, when life gets hard, when you hit a low moment. Do you really want to be with someone who sees every other man as a reminder of what you're not? Walk away. Because you'll never feel like enough for a woman who's constantly reminding you of someone else. 10, she mocks or downplays masculinity. Let's make this very clear. If a woman mocks what makes you a man, she doesn't respect you. She resents you. The way you speak with conviction? Too aggressive. The way you lead with structure and logic? Controlling. Your confidence? Arrogant. Your desire to provide and protect? Patriarchal nonsense. You hear it in jokes. You're such a typical man. You just want to fix everything instead of listening. Is this one of your alpha male moments? You think it's just sarcasm until it becomes a pattern. And here's the catch. Society applauds it. Masculinity is the only thing people feel free to insult publicly without shame. And some women internalize that message so deeply, they punish the very traits they're biologically drawn to. But here's the irony. She'll mock your masculinity, but still expect you to pay the bill. Still want you to protect her in public. Still expect leadership when life falls apart. So which is it? You can't have a man's strength and then shame him for showing it. You can't say you want a real man and then treat his masculinity like it's a flaw. And here's the truth. Some men are so afraid of being called toxic, they've stopped being themselves altogether. They hide their assertiveness. They suppress their ambition. They lower their voice, not to be polite, but to avoid criticism. Bro, that's not love. That's slow erasure. Masculinity is not the problem. Immaturity is. Insecurity is. Abuse is. But masculinity, real masculinity, it's honorable, protective, focused, bold. And any woman who truly values you will never try to shrink that, and she'll sharpen it. If she mocks the core of who you are, if she makes you feel like being a man is outdated, problematic, or too much, if she only accepts the version of you that's quiet, passive, and easy to control, she doesn't want a man, she wants a puppet. Walk away. Here's the cold truth. Some of you aren't dating women, you're surviving them. And the reason you're exhausted, confused, and walking on eggshells is because you keep ignoring what's right in front of you. These red flags aren't warnings, that's their exit signs. Stop trying to fix what's draining you. Stop staying loyal to dysfunction. Stop confusing struggle with love. If any of this hit home, drop a comment. Tell me what you've experienced. I read everything, and I respond. You're not alone. Let's talk. Let's build. Let's get better together. And if she's showing you these signs, don't argue. Don't explain. Walk.